sites and shit like that, people on YouTube in general, you know.
Welcome back to Browns Live, powered by First Energy. Nathan Segura alongside Browns legend Joe Thomas, and we welcome back in the head coach of your Cleveland Browns, Kevin Stefanski, for this week's game preview presented by Ruoff Mortgage. Coach, right back to MetLife Stadium. This is a Jets team that just beat the Rams, a team that certainly has playoff aspirations. How do you keep this team ready, focused, and on the task at hand to go there and handle a Jets team that's played a lot of close games for a team with only one win?
Yeah, they played a lot of close games, and it's so easy. You just put the tape on from the last game. I mean, not only did they win, I mean, they were very physical. They were getting after people in that game. So with the players, the message is go watch the tape. And I think our guys are smart enough to understand what they're getting into. We have to play our best to win. That's our mentality every single week. So in order to play our best, we have to have a great week of preparation, and that's what the guys are focused on.
A lot of conversation about Sam Darnold potentially being the franchise quarterback for the New York Jets. What do you see from Sam Darnold when you turn the film on?
Yeah, I see a very athletic player that can make every throw. He's got plenty of arm strength. He can drive it. He knows when to take something off of it. But I just think he can be a problem with how athletic he is. Maybe some people don't give him enough credit for that. I see him being able to make people miss, get on the move, but he's very accurate when he's on the move. So whether it's a design rollout or he's in scramble mode, he can really hurt you because he can run and he can go get a first down with his legs, or he can throw.
Speaking of guys who can throw it at an elite level on the move, your quarterback Baker Mayfield has been throwing some dimes on those play-action boots. And Reddit user Neb's Law brings us today's best fan question, powered by First Energy. It says, Baker's been elite. There's no doubt about it. What does he need to do to continue to perform at that elite level in your offense?
You know, I think for Baker, the things that he's done well are really the things that he's done well during the week. He grinds really hard on this. I wish people could see the work that he puts into this. He's one of the first guys in the building, the last to leave, studies tape like crazy. He understands what he needs to do to get ready for these games. He also understands that it takes 11 guys. So to be able to deal back there and deliver the ball in time, your protection better be great, and it has been. And our guys are making contested catches. I think to Rashard Higgins' catch early in the game, you know, that's a contested catch. He made a strong-handed catch, so it goes down as a completion for Baker, but that's an outstanding throw and a great catch by Rashard. So it really takes everybody. That's where this is the ultimate team sport.
Coach, as always, best of luck on Sunday, going 1-0 again this week, taking on the Jets. Merry Christmas to you and your family. Let's go. We appreciate the time.
Thanks, guys. Merry Christmas.
All right, we're joined now by Browns guard Nick Harrison.
The Browns offense in the red zone, they stepped up. You're going against the number 2 ranked red zone defense in the NFL. 3 trips in the red zone, 3 touchdowns for the Browns. Let's take a look at how they did that in this week's play breakdown presented by Microsoft Surface. And we're going to start with the Browns in a goal line look. 3 tight ends, 2 running backs, nary a wide receiver to be seen here. And you're telling the Giants, we are lining it up with our big guys, and we are going to run it down your throat. Kevin Stefanski, ever the trickster, had other ideas. To see Andy Janovich motions to the wing, he's going to go to the flat and pull the defender out. Austin Hooper, right next to him, is going to release up the field, and they forget to cover him. But his route naturally has him bend to where there is one defender. He reads that and breaks back to the outside. Baker reads it, throws it back shoulder. Easy touchdown.
Yeah, the Giants, they like to play a lot of zone coverage, especially down here in the red zone. And you can see the linebacker. He's reading Baker Mayfield's eyes. He gets pulled just a little bit to his left, to Baker's right, and that's all the space that Austin Hooper needs to be able to settle down in that little soft spot in the zone. And Baker Mayfield's able to find a nice little throwing lane to the back of the end zone, putting it where only Austin Hooper can catch it and nobody else. And that's touchdown Browns.
On to another example of red zone success. And right before this, Kevin Stefanski, we showed you last time, you bring in all the big guys, we say we're going to run it, then we throw it. Well, the play before this, you spread them out, you tried to run, you didn't get in. So you say, you know, we're going to spread you out again, and maybe we'll run it again. Maybe we won't. Instead, you get play action, and Baker Mayfield ends up making a spectacular throw to Jarvis Landry in the back of the end zone. But there's a little pre-snap motion that's the key to get this going, isn't there, Joe?
Yeah, Donovan Peoples-Jones is going to do just a little bit of short motion and then end up running across the formation once the play is snapped. And the reason that's really important is because all those pass catchers are watching who is the man-to-man cover guy who's going to be guarding him, because that's the guy that they're going to try to create traffic. It's that natural rub, that little pick that they're going to try to create to be able to give you a little bit of separation when the Giants are playing man coverage. It's a really popular thing to do down on the goal line because it's so hard to play man coverage when you do run those crossing routes, because there is a lot of bodies in there just in case Baker Mayfield decides to take off. But what happens here is you get that little bit of separation for Jarvis because of that traffic that everybody has to run through, and then Baker Mayfield does a great job deciding, hey, I can either throw to Chief in the short part of the end zone, or I can go to the back of the end zone and go to Jarvis. And I thought the decision making and the throw were outstanding right here, because when you're trying to throw to the front of the end zone, because Baker's got those two big guys in his face, you're going to have to put a little bit more air under the ball to be able to get over the top of those big guys, which a lot of times gives defense the time to be able to maybe make a play on the football. He makes the right decision, goes to the back of the end zone, and Jarvis throws an absolutely perfect ball, and the rest is history. Browns, touchdown.
At 5'11" and weighing in at 190 pounds, Northeast Ohio native Denzel Ward has the supreme athletic ability and speed to be a shutdown corner in the NFL. His expressive footwork and quick backpedaling skills, along with an outstanding 40-yard dash time of just 4.32 seconds, make him excellent in man coverage situations. Pair that with a 39-inch vertical and a wingspan of nearly 75 inches, Ward has no problem competing with some of the bigger receivers in the league. The former 4th overall selection in the 2018 draft, Ward earned a trip to the Pro Bowl during his rookie season, and he's tallied 5 interceptions during his career so far, with all 5 coming against division rival opponents.
On to the Jets. We very, very quickly, when you turn the tape on from their last game, you understand what you're getting yourself into.
Sunday night football, the Browns and the New York Giants. No fans at MetLife Stadium.
Hey, man. About to hear every piece of contact today. Nobody in here? Good. Bring your own juice. Let's go. Let's go. Come on, bring your own juice. You don't like that? Bring it. Hey, hold on. Hey. Put a man next to you. Put a man next to you. Let's do it, man. They really don't want none. Man, they might as well let the Tunes play the whole game. Hey, y'all. Come on, y'all. Let's get this ground game going, bro. Hey. Come on, hey.
McCoy throws. Slayton caught it. That's the ball game. The time has run out. The game is over. The Browns have won. They beat the Giants on Sunday Night Football, and the Browns are at 10 wins for the first time since 2007.
Woo! Money Mitch, baby. Feel good to take one home, man. Yeah, same spot we'll be here. Hey, I'll see y'all next week, man.
To become the third team in the Super Bowl era to lose 6 straight in a season and still make the postseason. That would be some storyline with Trubisky getting that team in.
Baker Mayfield will be without the bulk of his receiving core for tomorrow's game at the Jets after contact tracing landed 4 wideouts on the reserve COVID-19 list before the team took off from Cleveland. Jarvis Landry, Rashard Higgins, Donovan Peoples-Jones, MR.OHYDRO, all placed on the list after being identified as high-risk close contacts of a positive test. The Browns' current wide receiver depth chart only has one player, Marvin Hall, who will be able to play on Sunday against the Jets. Hall was claimed off waivers by the Browns back on December the 7th, has yet to catch a pass. In fact, the Browns will have 0 wide receivers active Sunday who have caught a pass from Baker Mayfield this season.
We just have to find a way to take the next step. Not have these moments where we don't feel like we played as well as we could. I just think it's part of the process. We got to continue. Have games that we wish we'd have back, and you got to eliminate those.
I think we got to.
Baker Mayfield without the bulk of his receiving core for tomorrow's game at the Jets after contact tracing landed 4 wideouts on the reserve COVID-19 list before the team took off from Cleveland. Jarvis Landry, Rashard Higgins, Donovan Peoples-Jones, MR.OHYDRO, all placed on the list after being identified as high-risk close contacts of a positive test. The Browns' current wide receiver depth chart only has one player, Marvin Hall, who will be able to play on Sunday against the Jets. Hall was claimed off waivers by the Browns back on December the 7th, has yet to catch a pass. In fact, the Browns will have 0 wide receivers active Sunday who have caught a pass from Baker Mayfield this season.
All right, back to the NBA. Russell Westbrook and the Wizards looking for their first win as they take on the Magic. Westbrook picking up where he left off on Wednesday with his triple-double. He looked real good.
On third down, I think. I don't regret it. I didn't want Fitzpatrick to have the ball. He was doing a good.
It's been done before.
Yeah,
but dunking in your own hoop.
He dunks his own.
And then he can see right.
But he
the
moves right
reaction.
away.
I mean, if you're going to do it, you might as well do it well right there.
I like that. Right.
What was the conversations that you guys were having on whether to score the touchdown or settle for the field goal right there? And did you at any point think about, okay, they're giving us a touchdown here, let's go ahead and take that, take our chances?
Well, we did that against Kansas City. Honestly, we scored with 1:15 left, and Mahomes went down and beat us. And we felt the play was to eliminate all the clock and all the timeouts and put them back with they're back against the wall with 19 seconds left. I don't regret it. I didn't want Fitzpatrick to have the ball. He was doing a good job in the second half. I didn't want him to be in a 4-down situation. He's a gunslinger. He was hot. That's all I can say. I don't regret it one bit. I just regret the results.
Coach, I mean, having go back to that play where you could have scored the touchdown and maybe had an extra point conversion, and even if they did drive down, they probably would have only.
Yeah, there's a lot of ways to. I'm not going to interrupt anybody, but I'm sorry, but there's a lot of ways to look at this. But 19 seconds left on your own 25-yard line with no timeouts. I've called plays a long time. The probability of getting that done is remote. And there's no guarantee if they get the ball that they don't go for two. I'm not going to get into all the scenarios. We played it exactly like we wanted to play it. It was a heck of a job by our offense closing the deal, I thought, but unfortunately they made a desperation play and the penalty was horrific.
John, this is Hunter Carter, but can you please talk about Derek's performance with the groin injury and just the way he played, please?
Yeah, I thought he did all he could do. I thought he showed a lot of toughness. Obviously not converting on third down. I think his mobility perhaps played into that a little bit. This is a great football team, a great defensive team, as good as we've seen all year. They throw every look at you that you can prepare for. I thought Derek did a great job, and I thought he did enough to win tonight.
John, when they switched quarterbacks to Fitzpatrick, how did that change the look for your defense? You guys are defensively been having your way for most of the game.
Well, I think we just missed a couple tackles. The running back got out of trouble, made a 60-yard touchdown after we scored and missed the extra point. And Fitzpatrick gives his guys chances that most quarterbacks don't take. He's willing to throw the ball down the field in tight windows. Once again, we didn't register a turnover on defense. The pass rush wasn't good enough. And he got us.
Hey, John, was Josh Jacobs hurt during the game? How long is that the later on?
Yeah, a little bit. He had an IV. He wasn't feeling real good coming in here tonight. They're a hard team to run the ball against. Like I said, defensively in the last several weeks of the season, they've been one of the very best teams I've seen on tape. No, he's a great player, and he plays such a major role in so many different positions. It's one of the best players I've ever seen play football.
So that's it. Thanks, Coach.
All right, guys.
All right, so with the Dolphins hanging on to the number 7 seed while the Raiders are officially eliminated from playoff contention. As for the rest of the AFC, the Chiefs and Bills have clinched their divisions while the Steelers, who already clinched a playoff spot, can clinch the division title with a win over the Colts. But we get back to this one with Tim right now. And John Gruden saying, listen, he does not regret making that call, agrees with you, wanted to have as little time as possible for the Dolphins. And he says, you know what? Just thought that would put them in the best position possible, calls it an inexcusable penalty. And you look at this defense for the Raiders, go back to week 11. Since then, they've been giving up 36 points per game. That's the worst in the NFL. What has changed for them? What's been so bad about that defense right now?
Well, listen, they've changed play callers. It was so bad. Look, they just have, like a lot of teams have dealt with people being in and out of the lineup. That's been a struggle. And listen, they just kind of have made mistakes in inopportune times. And, tonight is probably a great example of it. And look, it's with a different play caller, on that side of the ball. A face mask in that situation, as John Gruden characterized it, is inexcusable. But the busting coverage is inexcusable as well. Matt Collins, there's no reason, should have been that open on the sideline in that part of the game. So, look, I think it was a combination of those things. And I do think it was telling to hear John Gruden talk about how Derek Carr played well enough to win. It clearly, was a comment in relation to how he felt about his defense's inability to close it out.
The narrative has changed so much around this team. They started 6-3. We're thinking, okay, they finally got a team that we're going to see in the playoffs, see what John Gruden can do with his guys. And then now they've lost 5 of their last 6. What changed for them throughout this year?
Yeah, I just think they didn't have the consistency. I mean, they were, even tonight, there were times where you thought, look, this is really impressive. Some of the things they were doing defensively and coming up with stops, their ability to run the ball with Josh Jacobs. The quarterback's play, generally has been, pretty good. It's, been uneven at times, but for the most part, pretty good. Even when Mariota had to play, he played well. So I just think that there were times where when you play good teams in the National Football League, the margin for error is so small, and the game-altering plays, you don't know when they're going to happen. And if you don't play consistently enough to make it when they do, things like tonight happen to your football team, and then they start to demoralize your football team. And so I think that, if you just look at how this team is kind of, had high hopes in the earlier part of the season, and then kind of how they've fallen apart, I think that's a big part of it. And the season is long; it's a marathon. You have to.
Is seeking to become the third team in the Super Bowl era to lose 6 straight in a season and still make the postseason.
Good evening. Thanks so much for being here with us on Lena Live.
And I'm Andrew Horansky. We begin tonight with important developments with the Cleveland Browns one night before a major game against the New York Jets. Nick Camino joins us live now to break it all down. Hey, Nick.
Good evening, Drew. Good evening, Lena. Yeah, what was supposed to really be an uneventful day for the Browns ahead of tomorrow's game with the Jets got pretty crazy, and it has them in an unfamiliar position, a position that I don't know that they've ever been in before. That's how wild this is. We found out earlier today that before they were scheduled to fly to New Jersey earlier today, that flight got delayed after starting linebacker B.J. Goodson tested positive for COVID-19. Well, the Browns shut down their facility. They began contact tracing. We've seen them do that a couple times this year. Well, at some point it was discovered that all 4, not 1 or 2, all 4 starting wide receivers had to be placed on the COVID-19 list after being identified as high-risk, close contacts of a positive test. So that's Jarvis Landry, Rashard Higgins, Donovan Peoples-Jones, Kadero Hodge, all 4 of them. None of them will be able to play in tomorrow's game against the Jets, which is pretty crazy. And as you can imagine, Browns players not too happy, taking to social media. Look at Jarvis Landry's. This is going to be the first game that he's missed in his entire 7-year career. Of course, he's annoyed, as he put it. Donovan Peoples-Jones also taking to Twitter just in disbelief that he's going to have to miss the game. Not only him, but again, the top 4 receivers for the Browns. Now, Drew, I could try to spin this another way for you and say, well, yeah, the Browns are a running team, so it's okay, and the Jets only have 1 win, so the Browns will be all right. And I think that they can still win this football game. They're still favored to win this football game, but, man, when you take away their 4 receivers that Baker Mayfield enjoys getting all these guys involved, this is a really tough spot that they're going to be in. And you just think about it, they're going to be trying to make the NFL playoffs for the first time in 18 years. I guess nobody said it would be easy, right?
Well, and this is we needed any of this. Nick, thanks. We'll see you later in sports.
Welcome back. Please comment, subscribe, like the videos. Also share the videos. I want to thank everyone that does like, watch, and share my videos. You want to be absolutely best. Listen, folks, there's a link tree down below. It has links to all of my social media, all of my YouTube pages as well. Please go down there and subscribe to my YouTube pages, turn on notifications. Also, follow me across all of my social media platforms. Talk to me. I'll talk back. Going back and forth with folks. So I want to thank everyone that gets involved in all of those links that are down there in any way that they can. Now, with that said, I'm here to talk to you folks about the Jets versus the Browns. Boy, oh boy, listen, there's a lot of things that have happened. A lot of things that have transpired, and we're getting into it. I also want to wish everyone a happy holidays as well. As you can see, my background has changed a bit. I'm traveling on the road. But, I hope everyone's having a good time with their families, enjoying themselves, having a blast. Please be safe, everybody. There's a lot of things going on in the world. But I want to make sure everyone's having a good time with their families and enjoying themselves. So
another facility, their plane to New Jersey was delayed because of it. So I'm like, whoa, there's a lot of things, moving and shaking over there. A lot of things going on. They started adding players to the row list that they have. Some players are not going to play. They also came out with a list of players that are high, designated high risk as well to possibly have the row that they're not going to send either. And guess what? They could be without damn near all of their wide receivers, if not their top, at least their top 3 wide receivers, and they could also be playing without their tight ends. And I said, whoa, this is crazy. This is really, really crazy. Pretty much, a lot of the threats and weapons that we were worried about, and I hope everyone's okay, and I hope everybody, comes out of it okay. For the Browns, again, they're still making things happen over there, and things are still being announced as I'm filming this video. But wow, things are crazy. A lot of the weaponry that we were looking at, them having, they're not going to have in this football game. And so the first thing in my mind was, hey, we got to generate pressure on Baker Mayfield somehow, someplace. If we get to him early in the offense, make him around, I do believe that Baker's going to make some mistakes and turn the football over. We all know that Quinn Williams is one of the main guys that we would look to. Hey, can you push the pocket? Can you cause some havoc? Can you, somehow just get a QB off his spot, make him, run around, hurry him? He's not going to be playing. He's dealing with a concussion. He's dealing with also some neck injuries that they put him on IR, so he's done for the rest of the season. We're also going to be done. We're also be without Jack Gundry as well. Our corner, he's dealing with the injury. He's doubtful to play, so he's not going to be playing in this football game more than likely. So we're down. Quinn Williams for the corner. So I'm thinking guys like Nathan Shepard, Franklin Myers, other guys on our defensive line, Henry Anderson, all of that. We've got to find some way to get to Baker Mayfield early and often. Outside of that, I think because of the issues that they're having with the row, the guys that are now on their list, they're not going to be playing. I think their game plan is going to change significantly, and I think what we'll see is them come out and try to run it hard and heavy. Chubb will get a really steady dose of Chubb and a very steady dose of Kareem Hunt and the other running backs that they have. We have to be prepared for them. We cannot allow the Browns to run the football down our throats because that's more than likely what they're going to come in and do. We've given up yards on the ground before this year. There have definitely been some teams that have scored since. We do not allow the Browns to do that. Also, our linebacker core is going to be testing this football game as well. We're a little thin at backer. We just brought 3 guys in, today, off of free agency list. Listen, these guys that we're bringing in, hopefully they'll have them spread out just a little bit. But other than that, again, the main guys that we're going to have, the backers that we have out there. Listen, this Brown running back tandem, Hunt and Chubb, these guys can come out the backfield and catch the football. Let's not lose sight of that, okay? These guys can come out the backfield and catch the football and they can score just that way. So we must be prepared for that too. I want to see how the Jets defense and how Frank Bush is going to make sure that this Jets defense is ready and prepared for this. Because again, what they're dealing with, they're going to be without some of the other weapons, so they're going to be a little bit depleted. So we have to make the adjustment for the play that they're going to have. They're not going to just come out and lay down. That's a fact. They're not going to come out and lay down. But they're definitely going to make an adjustment to the plan that they have because of the guys that they're missing. So you can go to the Jets offense. Oh boy, listen. Sean Jefferson, our wide receiver coach, he's dealing with, row, so he's on the row list. He's not going to be traveling with us. So we're looking at the situation with this offense right now. We get P. Ryan back. He's been activated. Hopefully they give him some snaps and he plays in this football game. So that's a weapon added for us, a guy that we've seen have some solid success in our offensive scheme. So I look at this situation and I say, when you look at the Browns, well, we got some guys that can catch. God, hell, we saw Ty Johnson really come out and do some great things. You can already see it coming that they're going to run Frank Gore into the ground, but again, you have to get the ball in the hands of these young guys. You have to see what these guys have, especially with P. Ryan coming back. Again, Ty Johnson, Adams really showing promise. You have to get these guys the football. I also want to see Ty Johnson being utilized in the receiving game like he was in the last game, too. This is a guy that made a play. He scored our touchdown. You know what I'm saying? He was out there doing his thing. I want to see more of this kid, but we've got to protect Sam Darnold. We've got to get the ball out of his hands quickly. We also have to draw up plays to get the ball to him. See, this is a guy that's phenomenal and really coming about as a young wide receiver, so I want to see us be able to score points. This is a game that I look at, and I think the Jets can win this football game. I truly believe that's probably what's going to happen, especially when you look at the stuff that's going on with the Browns. They're dealing with the row. A lot of their guys, are not going to be playing. They've been thrown off quite a bit. So this is a football game that I think the Jets can win. If people didn't think that they could win before, with all the things that's going on now, I definitely think it's slid a little bit more in the Jets' favor. So please comment down below. Let me know what you folks think. How do you feel about the Jets going into this game? What are your thoughts about what's going on with the Browns? Again, things are still moving and shaking. There's probably going to be more names added to the row list that they have over there, so it might be more guys that aren't going to be traveling, and playing in the game. How do you feel about the Jets' defense? Do you think they'll be able to match up well? Do you think they'll be able to stop the run? And what are your thoughts about the Jets' offense? Do you think the Jets' offense will be able to come out and put up points early? So please comment down below. I love going back and forth with you folks. You have a good one.
This whole thing going on with the Cleveland Browns, this is 2020 in a nutshell, because it'll catch you out of nowhere. You'll get uppercutted out of nowhere. And with the Cleveland Browns, they play the Jets tomorrow. So a lot of people feel like, oh, that's a gimme game, which it could be, but it's not any given Sunday. It's any given Sunday. But now this any given Sunday becomes that much harder for Cleveland and Baker Mayfield, because he will be without pretty much all his receivers, except Marvin Hall. Now, the Browns, of course, elevated 2 receivers off the practice squad. And let's just look at the report. So, the receivers that are out tomorrow, that got placed on the not team keep it clean list, Jarvis Landry, and they said that's actually going to be his first game that he's ever missed, ever, in his NFL career. First game that he's ever missed, and it's not even due to injury. Oh, that is tough, man. And then Hollywood Higgins, he's out. And then Donovan Peoples-Jones, he's out. And as a Ravens fan, we are very familiar with those 3 receivers alone. They have all, of course, Jarvis Landry been putting in work for a while. And he is the Browns, he's their top guy. And then with Hollywood Higgins, he's been doing his thing as well. Donovan Peoples-Jones, he's been coming along a lot this year. So we're very familiar with him. So this is a huge blow for the Browns. And Baker Mayfield, too. And then they also lost Kadero Hodge. And then Jacob Phillip got added to the non-team keep it clean list as well. So Browns, they got hit, and they got hit hard. Like, this is probably the hardest they've been hit by this whole thing. And earlier this season, Myles Garrett, he got placed on that list, and so he missed some time. But just as a collective unit, as a team, this is probably the biggest blow for them. Now, we always talk about how timing is everything. The timing of this, not that it's good timing at all, not that it's a good thing that this happened, but the timing of this, the fact that it happened before they play the Jets, that, not that it goes in their favor, but it kind of softens the blow a bit. Again, Jets may be looking at that report right now like, ooh, okay, let's go. But the Browns, that sucks. That sucks. But like Angie said, Angie on Twitter, she said, hey, this is the time that we're living in right now. We all have to deal with this. Every single team has to deal with this whole thing right now. So we all have been affected by it, no matter what team you root for, some way, somehow. Now, they are all close contacts, so they aren't actually on the official non-team keep it clean list. But since they were close to somebody who is on the non-team keep it clean list, they have to, I believe they just got to test negative for 5 days, and then they'll be straight. Then they can come back for week 17 against the Pittsburgh Steelers, and that's going to be a huge game. And depending on how the slot of games goes tomorrow, then that game could end up being for the AFC North. So we'll see what happens between Pittsburgh and Indianapolis Colts. But yeah, that's
accolades ever since he's got to college, and the greatness that he might hold and the potential that he might show on a professional NFL football field. No knocking on that, but my thing of the matter is, that there's a possibility that that shit won't turn out the way that everybody thinks it should. Sam Bradford, Jamarcus Russell, Matt Stafford. Come on, man. These dudes were supposed to bring the team to the promised land. You see what is happening. You see what has happened. And sometimes it just doesn't pan out the way you think it should. But you got to remember, you rooting for your team to grab these dudes and luck. I mean, full 0-16, Andrew Luck. Luck ran out real quick, didn't it? That's why I don't fall for the okie doke, and I never will. I never have. As a young man, being a Jets fan, even when we had those seasons of 1-15s and 3-13s and 6-10s and 4-12s and 5-11s, and never once in my life ever felt like we should tank. Never felt in my life that I felt we needed an L to become a winning culture. Because that doesn't add up. It's like oil and water. It just doesn't work. See, what the formula should be is the fact that we need to start thinking for the top. You know what the top is, man. Ownership, unfortunately, we can't fire them. But we can force them to sell the team. We can. But it starts.
So, as I'm driving down the road here, headed to Columbus, I get a notification.
So on Sunday, the Browns have a chance to do something they haven't done in nearly 2 decades, clinch a playoff spot. Sports anchor John Doss is hanging with who ahead of Cleveland's game against the Jets this weekend.
We are hanging with who just like we do every week here on News 5 News. Browns tight end Austin Hooper. His Browns are 10-4 and oh so close to clinching a playoff spot for the first time since 2002. I know Coach Stefanski preaches this one game at a time mentality. I get it, but you guys can smell it. I know you can.
Yeah, I mean, it's super exciting. I mean, whenever you're a part of a team that, it's really excited about playing football in December, that's always a good thing. And something I've been a part of in the past, and I will say, I don't want to jinx anything, but, the way our teams have been trending lately, it's very encouraging.
Week after Baker Mayfield gets the toe tap, oh boy, who toe tapping in the end zone at MetLife Stadium. Who says tight ends can't be nimble? Who better toe tap, you or Six?
Sixes was nice, but I'm going with mine because mine was a touchdown, not a first down, so sorry, Baker.
Always take the points. And speaking of the points, Baker's other touchdown pass last week went to Jarvis Landry. David Njoku telling Baker on the sideline, hey, bro, I was open.
Wide open. You fell. I was standing up.
Of course, David had tripped. Baker didn't see him. Hard to argue with a touchdown move. Give us your ruling. You got the tight end on one side. You got the touchdown on the other.
Yeah, I mean, I love Jarvis and I love David. Incredibly happy for Jarvis. As a tight end, I see my man David. Obviously, I was out on that play. It was his drive for his series. So that whole time I'm just sitting there watching. I see the defensive look. He gets a tremendous release. He was a man-to-man press coverage. Beats this guy, but when you're running across the middle, you got the heels of the D-line and the linebackers. I mean, you got 20, 15, 16 bodies you got to navigate in there. So, someone caught his heel a little bit. He stumbled. He did not fall. He stumbled. And came off the other side uncovered. But, it's hard to argue throwing to a guy like Jarvis Landry, or even if someone's, close to him, he's always open. So, it was a tight end. I'm a little disappointed, but love the result. Love seeing my man Jarvis score. He works hard.
Lock in on the tight end. You can do no wrong. He's tight end Austin Hooper. His Browns trying to get to 11-4 this weekend and maybe, just maybe, clinch a playoff spot. Hoop, good luck. Happy holidays. We'll see you next week, buddy.
Appreciate it, John. Merry Christmas, everyone.
Josh McCown, all quarterbacks. Tom Brady was coming off his very first Super Bowl win versus the St. Louis Rams and would be just 25 years old going into the 2002 season. Drew Brees would be 23 in his first year as a starter in the league with LaDainian Tomlinson and the San Diego Chargers. And Josh McCown will be in his rookie season with the Arizona Cardinals, where he would only appear in just 2 games. Officially taking over after Drew Bledsoe, Tom Brady would lead the league with 28 touchdowns, but this wasn't enough as the New England Patriots missed the playoffs with a 9-7 record. The New York Jets would win the AFC East. Drew Brees would lead the Chargers to an 8-8 record that would prove to just be good enough for 3rd place in the AFC West, where no team had a record below 500. In the 2002 draft, David Carr would go first overall to the expansion team known as the Houston Texans. And this draft would also feature some all-time greats such as Julius Peppers, Ed Reed, and Dwight Freeney. Now, as for the Browns during this time, they were led by head coach Butch Davis, who was also the GM. His record during his 4-year tenure with Cleveland would be 24-35 through 59 games, so 2002 is his bright spot. Under him was the offensive coordinator Bruce Arians, who we know will later go on to be coach for the Arizona Cardinals and currently the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Their defensive coordinator was Foji Fazio. The quarterbacks of this team were Tim Couch and Kelly Holcomb. Holcomb would start off the season, but Couch would later take his place. The two would combine for 3,600 yards and 26 touchdowns. William Green would be the team's leading rusher, 887 yards and 6 touchdowns, averaging 3.7 yards a carry and 55 yards a game. The leading receivers on this team were Quincy Morgan and Kevin Johnson. Morgan had 56 catches, 964 yards, and 7 touchdowns, while Johnson had 67 catches, 703 yards, and 4 touchdowns. This team, unfortunately, had 0 Pro Bowl players. The Browns would finish 9-7 and be second place behind the 10-5-1 Pittsburgh Steelers. Oakland Raiders, Tennessee Titans, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Philadelphia Eagles will all get first-round byes. Both the Raiders and Bucs would later meet in the Super Bowl, and Tampa Bay would win outright. To backtrack in this time, Cleveland would face their division rival Pittsburgh Steelers in the wild card. Sunday, January 5th, 2003. The game with over 62,000 fans in attendance and 20-degree weather. Kelly Holcomb would be quarterback for the game in Cleveland, while Tommy Maddox was on the other side of Pittsburgh. This game was pretty much played almost entirely through the air with little rushing. There was a total of 796 yards and 6 passing touchdowns. Kelly Holcomb really outplayed Maddox, 429 yards and 3 touchdowns to just 1 interception, while Maddox had 367 yards, 3 touchdowns, and 2 interceptions. Unfortunately for Cleveland, a special teams touchdown by Pittsburgh cost them the game, as the Browns would lose 36-33. Pittsburgh would move on to the divisional round, where they would lose to the Titans 34-31. And as far as awards and stat leaders for the 2002 season, Rich Gannon would be MVP. Clinton Portis and Julius Peppers would be the Rookies of the Year. Derrick Brooks would be Defensive Player of the Year. Ricky Williams was the rushing leader with over 1,800 yards rushing. Marvin Harrison was the receiving leader with 1,700 yards and 143 catches, a record that wouldn't be broken until last year, thanks to Michael Thomas. And when you look at the current Cleveland Browns team, the oldest player, defensive back Andrew Sandale, was only 15 years old. Jarvis Landry was 10. Baker Mayfield, Myles Garrett, Nick Chubb, and Kareem Hunt were all just 7 years old. Since joining the NFL in 1999, this new Cleveland Browns team could be best described as cursed, a place where careers go to die. Going through a ton of coaching and quarterback changes, you would have thought people have lost hope in this franchise long ago. But that isn't the case, and a very likely playoff appearance by the Cleveland Browns in 2020 will finally put an end to an 18-year drought. Thank you for watching the video. If you liked the video, like and comment.
What is going on, everybody? Brown Gratification here, and Merry Christmas to you guys. I'm actually recording this Christmas Eve because I will be busy Christmas Day. First and foremost, this video is inspired by Quincy Carrier's video that he released today. Today is Christmas Eve. It's a playoff machine and the different scenarios that can happen depending on who wins and loses. Now, I didn't watch the full video. I actually didn't watch the video at all. I just watched the first 2 or 3 minutes. Because I wanted to keep it a surprise for myself so I can upload this video for you guys. So I'll have the website link and how I'm doing this below, and as well as Quincy Carrier's video below as well. So, let's get started. We're only going to focus on the AFC side, obviously, because that's the side that we care about and only need to happen. Sorry, let me clear some of this, which I forgot to do. Alright, so that's cleared. So let's talk about it. Miami versus Oakland. I think it's a no-brainer. I think Miami wins pretty handsomely in this game, too. So, Miami wins versus Oakland. That leaves them 10-5. Browns versus Jets. Jets, obviously. Browns. I definitely made a mistake there. Giants versus Ravens. And now I did see a scenario where if Pittsburgh beats Indianapolis and we win against the Jets, we automatically make the playoffs. So we're going to try 2 different scenarios on what's happening, especially with these 2 games here. So first we're going to check with Pittsburgh winning. Kansas City obviously is going to win. And then we're going to see how what would happen if Tennessee wins. And we're going to have Buffalo win against New England. Now the 2 that I'm looking mainly for are the Indianapolis versus Pittsburgh Steelers and Tennessee Titans versus Green Bay. So we're going to try these 2 guys as winners first. And so let's just talk about everything that happens now. First seed obviously going to be Kansas City. I think they're going to go 15-1. I think they're going to stay the first seed obviously. Second seed Buffalo. And then third seed Pittsburgh. 4th seed Tennessee Titans. 5th seed the Cleveland Browns. 6th seed Miami, and 7th seed Baltimore Ravens. Baltimore got in there instead of the Colts because Colts lose and the Ravens won. And that's one scenario, or half of a scenario. Next we're going to go to Week 17. Week 17, Dolphins versus Bills. I think Bills take this. Bills are going to finish the season 13-3 and still AFC East champs. Notice when I did that, Miami is eliminated, and the Colts, as long as they win against the Jaguars, who they lost to Week 1, become 7th seed. Next, we're gonna let's just choose them to win. Ravens, they're gonna beat obviously I think the Bengals. Next, now, like I said, if we had Pittsburgh losing, and if we beat the Jets, we would be fighting for the AFC North Championship. But I think we still do beat them the second time around. Tennessee versus the Texans. I think that's a no-brainer as well. I think Tennessee wins. Next, we have Colts versus Jaguars. Now, let's see what happens if Colts win. Nothing would happen. Let's see if they lose. If they lose, Miami goes in, obviously. If they win, the Colts stay. Kansas City will beat the Chargers. And everything else, that wouldn't make a difference. Okay, so that's how everything would look now. Okay, yeah, that's right. Now that's if we beat the Pittsburgh Steelers. And now let's say if we lose to the Steelers, we kind of swap sides with Baltimore. We would be 6th seed and they would be 5th. I think the matchup against him. Well, you know what? That's interesting. So obviously, what do I think? Okay, so I think Tennessee is the better matchup just because their defense is atrocious. They can't generate a pass rush to save their lives. Pittsburgh, although they're down, but Dupree and Devin Bush still have many weapons defensively, which I think we could beat them. I know we could beat them, but in a playoff picture, I think it would be a lot safer for us to face Tennessee. So that's why I think the win here, especially Week 17, would be the most important. Now if we move to that's scenario number 1. Let's go to scenario number 2. We're going to clear everything. So this is how everything would look. Obviously, same as last time. Just clear it again, just make sure. Okay, so we have Dolphins win. I think it's
must-win game for them. So, yeah, but I still think they win. And if we beat the Jets, Ravens win there. Now, if the Colts win here, that's the seed. The Colts, they go to 3rd seed, Pittsburgh to 4th seed, we stay 5th, and then Buffalo jumps up to 2nd, Tennessee 6th, and then Miami 7th, and obviously Kansas City number 1. And then next, Tennessee versus Green Bay. First, let's get rid of this matchup. Buffalo obviously is going to win. If we look at them, if the Tennessee loses to Green Bay, they still stay the 6th seed. And where's their game? I'm skipping it. Here it is. If they win, they still stay the same. Now, what we want to do is avoid a tiebreaker to save our lives. So, because I saw on a 4-way tiebreaker, or a 3-way tiebreaker, whatever it was. I think it was a 4-way tiebreaker. We wouldn't be favored for, I forgot the reason why. I should know that, but I don't. But yeah, this is how everything looks. Now let's discuss this matchup. And okay, so that's everything. We have the Dolphins winning again, Browns winning again, Ravens winning again. But now we have these two teams kind of switching up with Green Bay winning and the Colts winning. And then we have Buffalo winning. Moving on to Week 17. Now, as you guys can see over here, we are fighting for the division. So Week 17 would be an important matchup for the Cleveland Browns to win the AFC North. So again, I think Buffalo beats Miami. Now that's interesting. Miami does lose. Baltimore and Baltimore wins. Miami's out of the playoff picture. I think Buffalo still win against Miami Dolphins. Next, we have the Ravens. I think there's no brainers that they do beat the Bengals. Week 17, our last game against the Pittsburgh Steelers. If the Browns win, we move to 3rd seed, 12-4, and champions of the AFC North. If we lose, we are dropped down to the 7th seed. We have to face Buffalo. Not ideal. So let's continue this matchup with Pittsburgh winning. The Colts win. They swap seeds with Pittsburgh. They jump to 3rd. Pittsburgh drops to 4th. Kansas City obviously wins there. And that's it. That's the most important thing. Now, if we had something like this happening, so if Buffalo loses against Miami, which I don't think they will. Oh, I don't want to tie here. If Miami beats Buffalo, which I don't think will happen, but could very well happen, the Cleveland Browns are out of the playoff picture at 100% we're gone. So that's why it's important for Buffalo to win these next 2 games, because if there's a tie between the Baltimore Ravens, they beat us twice. If we lose to Pittsburgh, they beat us twice. We're out. Even though we beat Tennessee and Indianapolis, they go by a division record, I believe, is how they go by. But if we beat Steelers, we're in, and the Ravens are out. So that's how everything would look. We'd be AFC North champs, obviously. So yeah, I mean, that's a really cool machine to watch out. If you're one of your favorite teams are in the NFC, if your favorite team's Arizona, check it out. If your favorite team is Tampa Bay, check it out. Whatever. Like I said, website link will be in the description below. Thank you guys for watching.
You give Sam Darnold an opportunity to birth the baby a little bit, and now you can do a little ground and pound and throwing the ball over the top and giving him somebody who can work the middle of the field like Zach Ertz. The fact that we know that Philadelphia is going to be about $64 million over cap, he's a guy that can be got, and he can be a quarterback's best friend.
Quick final thought. Go ahead, Mike. Greedy, I thought we were on ESPN today. I thought Bart had a contractual obligation to, when he noted any offensive lineman that I acquired, that it would have to be Damian Woody and not Alex Madison. Maybe we're on the wrong show here.
That's very well put. All right, so it's going to be very interesting. There's going to be a game of quarterback musical chairs that is going to run through this offseason. We'll see whether Sam Darnold winds up with a starting seat when it's all said and done. Meanwhile, this is Christmas Day, and that means we've got, among other things, a special present for you. It's the Camellia Ball Marshall.
he want to get high.
Right now, the Cavs are being a little bit passing the ball. That was too many passes and such short of an error for that to happen.
Grant gets the Pistons on the board.
Man can put the ball in the basket. He can drive. He can shoot from the outside. He's a pretty good defender also.
Garland looks to answer, and that's what he does. Economical 4 of 5 from the field, dished out 5 assists, plus 7. That was best among the Cavaliers starters. Not the Clippers' Blake Griffin that the NBA became used to at the beginning of his career. Takes a lot more of those. Jackson's in his 4th season out of Kansas. And his first 2 in the desert with the Suns. McGee down the lane off the Colin Sexton feed.
Howard from 3-point, 0 for 9 in that 4th quarter. You can make him do that if you challenge those shots.
Sexton, a floater, he scores. We have a whistle. Off the cross-court feed, Plumlee got a paw on it, but eventually it's McGee. There goes JaVale leading the break. McGee down the lane. Oh, mercy.
Coast to coast, the big fella. Gets the rebound. Nobody's coming to pick him up. He crosses over and takes it all the way down and throws the hammer down. Do it, big fella.
Blake Griffin with the shot clock winding down. They give him 2. Osman off a feed from Garland. Osman puts it up and in.
Amazing how once you stop that, everything seems to change.
Nance top of the key. Now to Osman. Osman doesn't hesitate and buries the 3. He looks to go one-on-one. He misses. Garland shakes on Plumlee, splits a double and puts it up and in. That's to go. Derrick Rose has been conspicuously quiet in this first half. Gives the Cavs another chance here with a final shot. Sexton takes advantage for the Cavs in half number 1. Coming up at the half, Campy and Jeff weigh in on the first half. Cavaliers 67, Pistons 63. Drummond in toward Plumlee to the basket. Banks and scores. Andre has 9 points.
To the basket every time because Plumlee keeps backing up. So he's just going to back him under there and lay it in.
Hayes again to the paint. Upstairs for Plumlee.
He's in the top 10 in the league.
Andre knows Blake's game just a little. Backdoor Grant from Plumlee.
The wimpy guys are going to back off a little bit, and the strong guys are going to try to go a little stronger, and that might be just enough to throw them off a little bit.
The Pistons are in the midst of a 12-3 run. Cavs are playing as many as 11. And here comes Grant, and that's what they do. Love fires. Grant with 3 seconds. Oh my, he's got it. Jeremy Grant at the buzzer, and that caps a Piston 19-3 run.
The world can turn upside down. As Grant does a good job from deep in the Little Caesars Arena. The Cavaliers are down by 2. Themselves back into the lead. Let's see if they can do it here in the second half.
Cavs have missed 8 straight shots, looking to get back in sync on the offensive end, and that'll certainly help. Garland buries a 3. The Cavs young starting backcourt. Here's Wright off a Plumlee screen. Now Jackson. Jackson works on Okoro. Difficult shot. It goes. Garland now has 9 assists, 3 steals to go with those 18. Griffin from deep. He's got it. Blake has 8 threes on the night. Mihailik backdoor. Puts it up and in and has a chance for the 3-point play. Pretty good screen by Sadiq Bey. The rookie is Colin Sexton. Meanwhile, defends Derrick Rose. Rose toward the bucket, lost the ball. Cavs wanted to travel there. Screen from the corner is good by DeLon Wright. The Cavs bench still wants an explanation.
You can't pass it to yourself.
Cavs bench was not thrilled with the no call. Cavs are back at it again tomorrow night at home against the Sixers. Drummond for the tie. No problem. Ball comes to Love. Back to Garland. Garland toward the bucket. Tried to go high off the window. Drummond almost directed it in. And off to overtime we go. Shot doesn't go. The Pistons have the ball in a 3-point lead. Rose shakes on Love right to the bucket. Missed the shot. Grant with a follow. Pistons 106. Cavaliers 101. His Pistons own a 5-point lead. Waits for a high Plumlee screen. Relays to Griffin. Gets it back. Rose launches from straight away.
You preach certain things you want to happen.
Thank you for for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.
Well, it wasn't you in there that brought the win. Of course, it was Fitz, and I think it was a great effort by not just him, but the entire offense. Just him understanding, how to get in the groove and, where to go quickly with the ball and whatnot. I think, that's what makes Fitz who he is. And in a way, it really wasn't as shocking tonight, to see what had happened. How do they call it, Fitz magic?
Some of the Raiders probably feeling the same way. Here we go, Neville and John with you. And we got to start with the NFL. The game over right now between the Dolphins and the Raiders. Massive playoff implications. Bizarre type of finish.
Well, those who are watching the college football game here on ESPN, trying not to score, and then you fumble. Well, the same thing happened in the Raiders-Dolphins game as well in terms of trying not to score. And then, well, here it is. We'll show it to you. Two crazy football endings, both in college and the NFL. They happen almost at the exact same time in real time. We'll get to them both. Okay, here's the deal. Dolphins are down by 3 to the Raiders, and Tua is just not productive getting the ball down the field, so he's going to get pulled for Ryan Fitzpatrick. Meanwhile, it's 16-16. No one's really doing anything. It's a lot of field goals, and finally, Derek Carr makes this play to Nelson Aguilar, and suddenly you realize he's going to score. Touchdown. All right, we're up by 6. Let's go up by 7, Derek Carr. Just send Daniel Carlson out there to kick the extra point. Oh, he shoves it right. Open club face. So the Dolphins got plenty of time. They got timeouts. They got time. They got Fitz magic. And they're down 6. They could actually go down and score and win the game. It might take them a few plays to do it. Now, how about just this one play? 1st and 10. Myles Gaskin from Fitzpatrick, and he's in. And he scores, and the game is tied. Now just kick the extra point, Jason Sanders, and give the Dolphins a 1-point lead. But again, still plenty of time. Raiders 3 timeouts, 2:55 to go. Time not a factor. Just go down and score somehow. 2nd and 7. Don't get the 3rd down because the Raiders failed to complete a 3rd down in this game. 0 for 10. Let's go to Aguilar again. Flag on the play. Pass interference. Now John Gruden, the Raiders are in great shape. Oh, offside on 3rd and 1. Gimme. 1st down. Dolphins got 1 timeout left. Let's milk the clock down. And just like in the college football game, some of you just watched, at one point the Raiders decided we're not going to try to score. They could have tried to score and gone up by 5, go for 2, go up by 7. But now, doesn't look good. Only 19 seconds to go. But a field goal wins the game now for Miami by not trying to score a touchdown. Oh, Fitzpatrick complete down the sideline. And guess what? Yeah, they did that to him. So suddenly, on one play, the completion plus 15 yards. Now Miami's back in field goal range. They tried one pass incomplete, and then Sanders wins the game with the field goal. Holy shnikes. Bad news for Ravens fans. Raiders, their playoff hopes weren't good anyway, but John Gruden, don't score the touchdown. Let's save it for the field goal and rely on a miracle. Well, the miracle happened, and the Raiders lose and Miami wins. But again, it was really interesting. Tua overall was 17 of 22. 17 of 22, he was cool. Why? 4 yards completion. Was not driving the ball down the field. The offense looked very, very stagnant and not much going on. So they go to Fitzpatrick, and he provides a couple of magical moments. Mostly Gaskin on the first one. But in the end, it's Miami who gets it done. So a quarterback decision made by a team that looks like they're going to the playoff. Now who starts going forward for Miami?
All right, Tim Hasselbeck joining us now, and I was going to start with the Dolphins, but you can't. You got to start with the Raiders and how that game ended. Tim, explain to me what you saw with the decision-making towards the end, and then that unfortunate penalty.
Jacobs knew what the plan was. It was clear that he was going to go down before crossing the goal line. They kicked the field goal to go ahead, and I think that at that point it's up to your defense in really tough circumstances for the opposing offense just to get the job done, which they don't do. And I think that Las Vegas obviously will be kind of kicking themselves for it, but a critical penalty is really what extends the drive.
Okay, so you like the call. Hang on a second here because we've got John Gruden. We're going to hear what he has to say, why he thought that was the right call for his team.
Really admire the way we compete, but until we start closing out games, we'll continue to be disappointed. That's a reflection on me, obviously. I don't regret taking a knee. We wanted to give the Dolphins the ball with as little time left as possible with no timeouts. Thought we did that. 19 seconds left on their own 25-yard line. They made a desperation play, and we had a penalty on top of that. Inexcusable. And I'll be happy to answer any questions I can.
John, what was the conversations that you guys were having on whether to score the touchdown or settle for the field goal right there? And did you at any point think about, okay, they're giving us a touchdown here, let's just go ahead and take that, take our chances?
Well, we did that against Kansas City. Honestly, we scored with a minute 15 left, and Mahomes went down and beat us. And we felt the play was to eliminate all the clock and all the timeouts and put them back with they're back against the wall with 19 seconds left. I don't regret it. I didn't want Fitzpatrick to have the ball. He was doing a good job in the second half. I didn't want him to be in a 4-down situation. He's a gunslinger. He was hot. That's all I can say. I don't regret it one bit. I just regret the results.
But, go back to that play where you could have scored the touchdown, maybe had an extra point conversion, and even if they did drive down, they probably would have only taken.
Yeah, there's a lot of ways to. I'm not going to interrupt anybody, but I'm sorry, but there's a lot of ways to look at this. But 19 seconds left on your own 25-yard line with no timeouts. I've called plays a long time. The probability of getting that done is remote. And there's no guarantee if they get the ball that they don't go for two. I'm not going to get into all the scenarios. We played it exactly like we wanted to play it. It was a heck of a job by our offense closing the deal, I thought, but unfortunately they made a desperation play and the penalty was horrific.
John, this is Hondo Carter. Can you please talk about Derek's performance with the groin injury and just the way he played?
I thought he showed a lot of toughness. Obviously not converting on third down. I think his mobility, perhaps. It's a great football team, a great defensive team, as good as we've seen all year. They throw every look at you that you can prepare for. I thought Derek did a great job, and I thought he did enough to win tonight.
You switch quarterbacks to Fitzpatrick. How did that change the look for your defense? You guys defensively have been having your way for most of the game.
Well, I think we just missed a couple tackles. The running back got out of trouble, made a 60-yard touchdown after we scored and missed the extra point. And Fitzpatrick gives his guys chances that most quarterbacks don't take. He's willing to throw the ball down the field in tight windows. Once again, we didn't register a turnover on defense. The pass rush wasn't good enough. And he got us. Yeah, a little bit. He had an IV. He wasn't feeling real good coming in here tonight. They're a hard team to run the ball against. Like I said, defensively in the last several weeks of the season, they've been one of the very best teams I've seen on tape. No, he's a great player, and he plays such a major role in so many different positions. It's one of the best players I've ever seen play football. So that's it. Thanks, Coach. All right, guys.
All right, so with the Dolphins hanging on to the number 7 seed while the Raiders are officially eliminated from playoff contention. As for the rest of the AFC, the Chiefs and Bills have clinched their divisions while the Steelers will already clinch a playoff spot because of the division title with a win over the Colts. When we get back to this one with 10 right now, And John Gruden saying, listen, he does not regret making that call. Agreed with you. Want to have as little time as possible for the Dolphins. And said, just thought that would put them in the best position possible. Calls it an inexcusable penalty. And you look at this defense for the Raiders, go back to week 11. Since then, they've been giving up 36 points per game. That's the worst in the NFL. What has changed for them? What's been so bad about that defense right now?
Well, listen, they've changed play callers. It was so bad. Look, they just have, like a lot of teams, have dealt with people being in and out of the lineup. That's been a struggle. And so they just kind of
We all know, all of us in that locker room know how rare it is to play in the finals. When we do scrimmages and watching film shortly, we need to rest our bodies, but there's still a way to rest and still prepare for the finals.
Okay, so quick breather and then back at it because the finals await. Junior, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Very exciting. Take care. Thanks, guys. Great time. Thank you.
How's it going, everybody? All right. All right. Let's start.
Congrats on making it to the finals, Junior. How does it feel?
thing, amazing. It's always been a childhood dream of mine playing finals, or to win the finals. So to be this close, man.
You're gonna celebrate tonight, and can I come?
Oh, no, man. Yeah, we're gonna have a little fun, but
Junior, what is going to be the key for you to winning the finals? If you had to pick one.
I don't know if there's any one key, but you gotta trust each other, same as always. Make the right reads, make the right rotations, trust your teammates in the right spots. Tends to always work out the right way.
Any predictions?
It's gonna be a good series. Got anything else? Nope. Cool.
degrees. I don't pray from my knees. I don't pray to a God. They told me God is in me. So I just meditate to draw a blank. They won't see what I see unless I paint a vivid picture, no matter the place of the seat. So if I'm taking a stage, I need an intimate room. I need you to feel what you hear. See, I'm no different than you. See, I grew up with my mama in the same house as my papa. They tried making me proper, but they like...